Cue the dog. Oh my God, what a cute pillow fort you have there, Frida. Frida Reba Darcy and Patricia O'Connor here, and I am about to do a little quick. We're gonna go out to the balcony and we're gonna talk cypress trees in just a second. But I thought I would do a little quick recap. In the last couple of days since I've been home, I never gave up on the little pots that were still out on the balcony. I would still throw a little water their way. And to that end, I say to that end a lot, I know. Little sprouts have come up here. Yeah. This one has about 4 in it. Today I discovered that little guy you might can see in the back. This guy's been with us for a minute. So right now, our little seed count there is at 9. Good number. We'll see if we can keep 9 trees out of that. That would be, that to my way of thinking, that'd be sweet. Look here. Now, in the last few days, we've been talking about our little Japanese black pines because we're kind of addicted like that right now when it comes to the black pines and the little ones, especially in the folding and bending and stuff. But we've always loved these not so little bald cypress trees. And this little compilation, I have things to do, a little bit to do, not a whole lot. So we don't really need to do a whole lot, but this doesn't need to be like the world's longest video either. This is about, this is the branch, right? We've got fronds, and then we've got branches. Fronds, branches. Where's your hand? Fronds, branches. Branches start off as fronds. And when it comes to the things that we've talked about before, we're wanting to take out bar branches because those will make knuckles. And in our tree, we get a knuckle when a bunch of stuff comes out in one spot. And you know, we can grow out of that a little bit, but we don't want to let that get out of hand. We want to nip that in the bud, which was a good term for what we want to happen there. I bet there's a spider nest or something in there, the way that's all closed up. Anyway, back to the thing. I'm not typically worried about bar fronds. I just made that up. It's not really a term. But when you've got 2 little fronds in there across from one another, I don't jump on that and want to cut those away as quickly as I would 2 branches of wood that are directly across from one another, like a periscope or like handlebars on a bicycle. So while I don't want to necessarily jump on some bandwagon where I go through and start clipping off, at the end of the day, the percentage of stuff we pinch off this tree is equivalent to the percentage of time we add to the development of this tree. All of this stuff that we allow to grow is just moving energy and moving all of the positive motion that we're trying to direct to trying to make this part heal over all of that, and to make these 2 little trunks heal over all of that. So we don't want to start stalling and slow all of that down. On the other hand, we don't want to back up. So we allow everything right now while it's making all of these shoots and all of these fronds and all these branches and all this stuff. We want to encourage that. We're feeding to that end so that will increase and go great guns. We're doing all of that stuff for a reason, sure enough. But at the same time, we don't want to allow anything that will hurt us. What could hurt us? Well, kind of a little contradictory to what I'd said about letting the fronds go is I have a concentration of fronds or leaves right here. And if I allow that to just run unimpeded, the end of this section, right, from here to here, this will end up getting a lot fatter than where it is down here. So I do need to watch that. And whereas Also, by picking out a couple of these and getting rid of them, also allocating more energy to the ones that are left. So none of these, every one of these is something that we may prune back this winter. Anyway, I mean, they're not guaranteed that every one of these is going to come out. We like to stagger our branches here. And for that reason, a certain amount of these will get cut back. But at the same time, I'm not worried about staggering them right now, as much as I am worried about the ones that I leave. I will be allocating more energy to, and if they're just fronds and they're in that handlebar position, I'm probably promoting them to the big league, which means that might not be the ones. I'm not picking this one over this one right now because I want them to be staggered, but I do have to realize that if I leave them in a handlebar position and they're fronds, they're probably going to just turn around and become branches because I will have cut all the other fronds, pinched away, allocating all the, making them king of the hill, basically. Get away, fly, shoot, fly. Nothing I need to do there, nothing I need to do there. That and that, or what I'm kind of talking about on handlebar branches. Let's grab up some scissors. I know I got some right here. There we go. Then we'll come back out here. And when I can cut loose a couple of these guys, we'll cut loose the big one. There. Now, while we're talking about this, let's look at how this has been working out. Look down here. Let me see if I can frame that up. All right. This guy, let's start here. So 2 years ago, we started this branch. We chopped it off to here. Probably later that same spring, those two grew out. We chopped those off. Now we've got those guys and those guys, and that's coming right along. Look below it. 2 years ago, we would have made our selection about this guy. Chopped it off here. Got those two forked off. Then at the end of this growing season, we would have pruned that off. Now we've got this guy and this guy. And I can do this while I'm looking through the camera. This guy and whatever else is over there. Oh, that guy and that guy. So that's working out. That's, just so you see how this is coming along. It is. It's coming along. We're doing what we want to be doing. And on one hand, I can't say it enough, we want to keep as much of this stuff as we can, but we also want to pick out those things which can slow us down and then maybe nip them. Now, also, hopefully, we're not doing anything but encouraging. We're not pruning enough, but maybe to do anything other than just encourage more of this. Just made a decision there not to cut that, but to pinch it. Pinching works well with these guys. So that's kind of what I had going on there. I'm looking at some of this stuff up here in a similar vein. I don't want the top of the tree to start getting thicker as we go down. Right now we kind of look okay there. This up here on this guy, this little top over here, is starting to look a little overly busy to me. Just, oops, you missed, Pat. Hit it again. Hit it again, it's getting away, as they say. maybe get around there where you can see it, Pat. Okay, there you go. All right. This is the proverbial windmill. You had branches all the way around. Still do. That's all we're going to do. It's about all we're going to do to that. I like to go through here every couple of days and kind of untangle the fronds if I can. They do a pretty good job of doing that themselves too. But these guys are really, really pleasing and to grow. They're pretty easy to grow. Let them do their thing. Let them grow fast by feeding them and giving them enough water. Yeah, don't over pinch them, or they may slow down on you. I haven't seen that with the bald cypresses yet. I did do something of the equivalent to slowing down the energy on my dawn redwood by pruning it and then having it die back over a bout of powdery mildew that I didn't catch early enough. Here's the before mentioned dawn redwood. Here are all the pines that we've been working on over the last couple of days. This is one where I talked about even if you break, if you get a snap, there is a snap right there. The top is still alive and hanging in there. I would almost chop that back to those little buds down there, and because of this damage, maybe those buds will decide that maybe they'll decide that they're a bigger deal now. But all of this stuff is continuing to push out. There's a little bit of red in here in the tips. I don't think that's anything more than bad handling by me whenever you bend the needles or torque the needles, or in this case, I cut a bunch of needles when I cut that candle off. So other than that, I think the top of the tree is not suffering from that break. And what that break is a good example of how if you break something, don't in a jaw-dropping moment bend it back to try to close the wound. It's like you sawed it halfway in half, and when you try to bend it back, you saw off the other half. Stop there and let the tree do what it's going to do one way or the other. That'll either die off, in which case we had all of our work down here anyway. I think if it died off, one of these other buds down here, which are already, this guy is already looking like it kind of wants to be the king of the show. But this guy does too. It has never missed a beat. That little bud has never missed a beat since that happened. So that's an example of how whenever you tear some tissue by bending a black pine, that it can move its nutrients and its moisture and its water and its hormones and whatever it is it's doing back and forth with stuff. It can do it back and forth and sideways. So if an avenue or one of the little tube that makes up the parts of the tree, if one little avenue gets dead-ended, it will move it sideways and up, or it'll do the Frogger thing and find its way to the top. This is just a little quick glance out of our little babies that we've been playing with the last couple of days. Everybody's really, really green and happy, and they're recovering from a lot of our what they probably think is nonsense, because it's like they're going along good, and then they get drug inside the house and weirdness happens. But they sure are looking good. I sure am happy with how much they've tolerated from me, and they are mostly all on a well-deserved break. I think at this point, all of the guys that are in the little plastic pots are going to continue to get fed. All the other guys in the little bonsai pots, they are going to continue to be fed whatever it is they have in their pots currently, but then no more. There's a little look at Simply Pea. It is happy. It just got a good, healthy misting in its little in its little soil mound and its roots. There's some fractures have occurred here and here. That's not a big deal. If I tried to reach in and close that back up, it wouldn't necessarily. It's not that we're losing any of that moss that we packed in there. It's that the roots that we hoped would grow in there are growing, and they're starting to push that stuff around. Don't mind that a bit. It's all holding together a lot better than I thought it would, just by being a little bit careful. I thought at some point, careful or not, that would start to come apart. And I don't want to start bragging on it too early, but so far this has been going better than I foresaw it possibly going. I hoped it would go better. I hoped it would do well. So I wouldn't say it went better than I hoped, but I was apprehensive as to how well that was going to stay. If y'all recall, when I did that, I put a net over it to try to hold it together, and then decided that would probably cause me as much problems as anything else. Quick look at some of the wisterias. Quick look at some of the Kodahan maples. Everybody is really happy. I just thought I would come out here with my sidekick Frida, the ever vigilant little Baberino, and do a little bit of thinning out. As you see, we didn't go too nuts on there, but I can see this side, the top part of this is caught up with the bottom, and I didn't want this part to get thicker because it had more twigs, more twiggage. Yeah, that's all we're doing there. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. This is going to be our midweek drop, and this should take us right on into our upcoming weekend. We'll probably do something on Friday. I like the Friday nights and the Saturday night stuff. I also like being out here on the balcony whenever the weather's nice. Yesterday it was a little cloudy mix. I kind of waited until after dark, and then we dropped a couple. We made a couple of videos then. But like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And thank you so much for watching.